Okay, welcome to episode 109 of the Epic Film Challenge. Today we went to see Breaking Dawn, Part 1. I guess...
Batman Begins?
Yeah, we'll do that later.
Oh.
Now you've kind of given away that we're doing these videos out of order, so... Thanks for that.
Start over. Like you said,
I could start over, but I can't be bothered. So I went to see Breaking Dawn. I like the Twilight films, I like the Twilight books. No problem saying that. I went to see the first Twilight when it came out, and there was no, like... Well, I guess it was for the people who love the books, but like it wasn't as mainstream massive as it is now when it first came out. I just went to see it because it looked interesting. Like the first film, you know, like all of them really. This one, not so much. I enjoyed it, really enjoyed it. There were some really good bits in it. At the end, there's like a kind of a flashback scene where she thinks about all of her memories and stuff, and it goes in and out, and it was really edited really well. That was my favourite part of the film.
But it reminds me of the first movie.
Yeah. The story, I've read the book, so I already thought it's not really going to be that good because not much happens. I mean, you know, big things happen, but there's not a lot of action in it. Not that I think Connie's more of a person who likes action in a film. I don't mind there being no action, but it just felt like it dragged on a bit because they took that part of it and dragged it over 2 hours. Still interesting though, still enjoyed it. Really good bits in it. But yeah, there's a few computer generated things that weren't that convincing as well. There's a shot of...
Weren't that convincing?
Well, I'll let you talk about that. I didn't mind the bit that she hated, but I thought probably the best thing of the film was when Bella's pregnant and they kind of made her look emaciated and thin, and her face was thinner, and there's a shot at the end where she's on a bed and her arms are like that, which was quite uncomfortable to watch actually, which worked with it. I was surprised in the sex scene that they showed her nipple, which Connie has a problem that I saw that, but it was on a 50-foot screen in front of me, and I was like, wow.
Well, I looked for it, but I didn't see
She looked for it, but she didn't see.
I always look for nipples.
You always look for nipples. What a quote that is. Jesus. Yeah, so that was interesting that they put that in there. And I felt they didn't hold back much on the sex scene, but I think there was more sex sceneness than there was in the book, really. I thought.
Yeah, it was.
I think they kind
When did you see that anyways, when they were in the water?
No, it was when, it was after they'd had sex the first time, and then she was thinking about it.
And they were sitting?
Yeah, they were sitting, yeah, and then she pulled her arm up and you just saw it, and I was like, oh wow, I didn't think they actually showed that. Maybe it was a mistake and they'll edit it out or something. I don't know. Seems a bit...
Yeah, because it's not really PG-13.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Well, I don't know. Anyway, so I would give it, I'll give it... Oh, what would I give it? I would give it... What did they give the Rum Diary? 6, was it?
Yeah.
I think I'll give it a 7. I was thinking 6.5 or maybe 6, but I think the ending was done pretty well. Although the ending was exactly as I expected it to, so...
Yeah, except for the Jake parts, but...
But, yeah, the end, there's a sequence at the end that I thought was... The editing was amazing on it, and that takes it up a notch for me. Otherwise I'd give it about a 6 or a 5.5, I think.
What sequence was that?
I just told you, when she thinks about her memories and stuff, and it kind of zooms in and out into different, you know, just really, one seamless shot. Yeah, I'd give it a 7. It was alright. Wasn't that great, but still enjoyable. I don't know, it's just one of those middle ground films, really. I think the second part will be a lot more interesting. So yeah.
The reason why it's just like part 1 of Harry Potter. Not much happened in Harry Potter part 1.
Well, no, I think it did actually. I think there was a lot of action in it.
Part 1 of Deathly Hallows. It's not so well. It's just them walking around, you know, and being sad and all that. You know?
No, I think
it's not like. I remember a lot of people were very disappointed with part 1, but amazed by part 2, because part 2 had all the action. The same is going to happen with Breaking Dawn, because part 1 of the book, there is no action.
Right, well,
they even put more action in the movie than was in the book.
But I think part 1 of Harry Potter was really, really good. So.
Yeah, of course, but you know what I mean. It's two completely different stories.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I loved part 1 as well.
Yeah,
it was amazing because it really got to me. But the people who hadn't read the books and all that, you know, and don't know the books well, they didn't enjoy it for what it was, completely. And the same as with Breaking Dawn, a lot of people are going to find it really boring because there wasn't enough action. And some friends of mine have told me, I was kind of disappointed because there wasn't that much action in it, but I guess book 2 will be better. 1, it's a love story, it's not supposed to be an action movie. 2, it followed the book. Yes, it dragged out like the wedding a little bit, but they dragged it out in a good way because they put some funny bits in it, like the speech.
Yeah, that was good. That was funny.
Speech part I enjoyed.
There's quite a few funny moments actually. A lot of people were laughing. More than they do at comedy films that we go see sometimes.
Yeah, but Twilight is, like, if we went to the sold out show at 6 or something, it's probably one of the big, big rooms or something, and it's sold out, and all those girls who are so big fans, you'd be amazed how the energy in the room would be. Of course you're gonna laugh because you're just really, you know. Yeah, so I think it was well done like that. Parts of it was like I think they should have done more at the island, like showing that she was eating a lot and she didn't just throw it once before she was like, oh yeah.
Well, I guess they had to really get it moving because that bit was dragging out a bit. I enjoyed it, but it was going on quite a bit.
It wasn't really dragging out that much at the island because they were doing stuff. But at the wedding, I think they dragged it out at the wedding. I think they should have started the whole movie differently, because I don't know. The book starts with her being in the before car, you know, and then she's gonna get the after car. Anyways, I just read the books or that part of the book 3 times, I think, so I know so much about it. What really, really, really disappointed me was the computer generated stuff. It was not convincing. I've always liked the wolves. They've been okay. It's been acceptable. But when...
I think with the wolves, the close-up shots were a lot better than the wide shots.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed in the way they were thinking because it was too messy, sort of. I didn't imagine it would be that unclear when they thought to each other and talked. But then again, thoughts are never really clear, so I guess it was fair enough. But it was a bit awkward for me to watch it because it's like, oh, it's kind of silly, you know? I felt it was a bit silly, but at the same time it was kind of good because they showed how Sam was over Jacob and then Jacob took his place back, blah blah blah. I did not like that Jacob, Seth and Leah, yeah, were walking around like humans because they were in their wolf forms all the time when they were outside. Didn't like that.
Well, I guess you can understand that it's just like, you know, for a film, it's less money to spend on computer generation, and it just, you know.
I guess.
I understand that.
I mean, they put in a few unnecessary scenes with the wolves, like the fighting scene that wasn't even in the book, but they needed action, I guess. So not that I got much of it, but and the wolves also did not follow Emmett and Carlisle and Esme.
Yeah, I think that was just to add a bit more dramatic tension to the end of it, really.
Yeah, and another thing, they were not on the second floor.
I know.
They were on the ground floor. Everything happened there, and Jacob could see what happened through the window, like where she was, and they moved everything downstairs. I think they should have done that in the movie. How much effort is that, you know? Put it in the living room. Follow the fucking book. Why put it in the fucking second floor?
Yeah.
And, I hated Renesmee. The Renesmee part of it.
The baby.
So bad.
Yeah, it was
I mean, come on.
Let's just explain that the character was holding the baby, and you saw its face for 2 shots, and I think you said it wasn't realistic. I thought the face was really realistic, but it didn't quite fit with the whole head.
No, because the eyes, 1, were too big, 2, they were too...
Well, yeah, I guess it was supposed to be that moment where Jacob kind of imprinted on her, and it was kind of like a surreal moment, and it's not really quite a human baby.
But they could have put a girl a real girl who looked like her. How hard is it to find a girl with brown eyes? Jesus Christ. Oh, they could have done that and just made her be in the vision instead of computer generating her.
What? What, when she was older?
Yes!
That wasn't a computer generated.
Yes!
No.
Yes! It was like seeing a cartoon, Luke.
No, it was the effects on the video. There's about 4 actresses who play the part.
Where'd you find that out?
I was just looking on the Wikipedia page.
Sure did look like shit
It
to
was
me.
probably just like the tinting on the effects. Anyway.
Looked like watching a Final Fantasy movie to me. Or Shrek.
Okay, we're nearly like 11 minutes now, so...
Yeah. What else? I like the giving birth part, sort of, except for the Jacob part. Most of it was pretty accurate. No, actually, it wasn't. No. One, she was wearing clothes, which is fair enough. They wouldn't want to show her naked, but I don't know. 2, he started biting as Jacob was doing the heart thing, and he just kept doing the heart, what do you call it?
Resuscitation, I don't know. I don't know
Yeah, he was pumping the heart or whatever while he was doing it. He just kept doing it. And you could hear the heartbeat. I think they should have shown that they could hear her heartbeat. I don't know. Other than that...
Yeah, it seemed like they really dragged out in the film, like, the idea that maybe she died. You know? That went on for ages, that they thought she was dead.
People who haven't seen it, I don't know.
Yeah, no, but come on. Does anyone really expect that there's going to be a part 2 without the main character in it? You know?
Edward.
No. Just, no. I don't know, I think they just dragged... I think it was like they thought the audience was stupid.
I liked the acting. Jacob did a good job. Or Taylor Lautner did a good job. He really looked, you know. Robert, I don't know, I think Taylor is just better than Robert, sort of. Sometimes, at least. Because it's just the same with Robert. It's the same fucking expression.
Yeah, I don't think
you might as well carve him out in stone and put that on him.
I don't think either of them are that great, but, you know.
No, not that great. Charlie is the best thing in the whole fucking movie.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Huh?
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, but... yeah, Charlie just breaks my heart. All the time. Anyways, other than that, I give it a... What did I give it? 7.5? 7.9?
That's enough. What's with the point?
8! I give it an 8.
I was going to say, what's with the 0.9s? Just give it an 8 if you're going to give it a 0.9.
Sometimes it doesn't deserve
okay,
an 8.
so an 8 out of 10.
Okay, I'll give it an 8.
Okay. Anything else?
It. Huh?
Anything else?
You want me to go on?
No. I'm just asking. No.
I hope the second movie is better when it comes
I'm sure
to
it will be.
computer-generated stuff, because they're done with the filming. They have a fucking year to do it. They've had more than a year. Because they already started working on it. Do a better job.
Okay, so I think...
Oh, another thing! The family from Alaska or whatever. The other family. Their eyes look fucking horrible.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
Why do they look so natural? Or on the Cullen family, some of them at least, they're just awful in them. They look like...
Like Charlie.
Yes!
Our kitten.
Yeah!
Constantly surprised.
It's like, I would not want to talk with any of those, because like, oh jeez, that was all... That would look more natural.
Okay.
There were loads of other parts as well with her pregnant scenes and stuff, but I just can't mention everything because it's going to take ages.
Okay.
I could talk about this movie for half an hour.
Okay.
That's because I'm very critical against it. Anyways, that's it.
Okay. I'm just going to add one more thing. I think it's a good quote from Stephen King, acclaimed author. He says, and I remember this quote because it's great. He says, Harry Potter is about the importance of friendship, sacrifice and love. Twilight is about the importance of having a boyfriend.
That's from Stephen King. Really?
It's a great quote.
I thought it was from some other person.
No, it's kind of funny. It's kind of true as well, really. But I like Twilight. It's good. So yeah, I think this is the longest episode we've done yet. So
Yeah, with me talking.
we'll wrap it up quickly.